Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure there will be some more coming up to listen and talk with us later. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizer who invited us, the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society, to present at this forum. I want to go through briefly within this 50 minutes of frame that you give me. Last year, probably most of you already heard of the Digital Economy and Society Plan that the government endorsed back in April. Okay, I would like to spend around 2 slides to recap on that issue. The Digital Economy and Society Plan basically would like to see the country into what we call digital Thailand. We want to transform into the country where we could create, innovate, and make the full use of digital technology. And with that technologies, I also include data, infrastructure, human capital, a number of things that we would like to be both the innovator and the users of those technology. And in order to do that, we think that it's not going to be easy for Thailand regarding the development stage that we are in. So we divided what we call the plan into 4 phases. The first one we call Digital Foundation, which is like a year and a half, which is going to be quite funny for you. What is a year and a half for you? It's the timing that we are certain that we will stay with this government, and this is a government who actually initiate the term digital economy in Thailand. So this phase, we are going to invest basically in infrastructure, in people, in order to make sure that we will have this digital infrastructure in place in the country. Whereas the next phase, which is 5 years period, is something we call digital inclusion. This is the phase where we would like to see that everybody, every organization, being poor, being rich, being small, being large, wherever they are going to be part of this digital economy, and we are going to go together. We are not going to leave anybody behind in this phase. Third phase is something we call digital full transformation. This is a 10 years period where we think that the benefit and the changes, the transformation in the country would actually going to be in full action. So we are hoping to see full action within 10 years. And of course, the next phase is something a little bit quite long, 10 to 20 years. It's something that, of course, it's not so certain, but we are looking ahead that Thailand should have a position in the international forum, and we are looking at our digital industry to present in this international market. This is the phase that we are looking at. How are we going to do that? We have divided this plan into 6 strategies. I just want to recap briefly. The first one is build up the digital infrastructure. And I'm going to show you that we have some projects coming up for that. We are going to have broadband nationwide, and we are also looking at our international connectivity that we want to build up, we want to strengthen. And with this infrastructure, we look at the 3A, the accessibility, availability, and affordability. Second is to use the digital technology in order to boost up our economy. We are looking at the traditional sector that we want to transform them into digital related process. We are looking at the SME to use digital technology, but we are also looking at the digital industry, digital startup. Thirdly, this is a strategy I've said in brief, digital society. We are looking at the society which is equal. People can access and people can use digital technology. We are also looking at the digitization of all the cultures and documentations. We are looking at the use of digital technology in education and healthcare. Fourth is the transformation of our government services. We look at what we call smart services. We are looking at the integration of our data, our infrastructure, and also the back office services. Fifth is on the workforce. We know that in this digital economy, the employment is going to change a lot, and we will need new skills for our workforce. So this is the strategy that we are building up the digital workforce in general, as well as the digital professions. Six is on the trust and confidence. We know that we are going to build a huge road, the broadband infrastructure, but it's no use if nobody uses. So we want to make sure that people feel secure, people trust this digital infrastructure, the digital application, the digital means of doing things. So we are laying out all those legal infrastructure, the standard, and also security issues. So those are the things that we have done since last year. But towards the end of last year, you probably heard more of the word Thailand 4.0. Thailand 4.0 might not be about digital, but basically what it is the economic model that the government want to put forward. Under this idea, we are looking at Thailand in terms of phasing. The first phase we call the Thailand 1.0, which is based on agriculture. And then we move on to the light industry and also the industry itself. But however, we seem to stuck in this so-called 3.0 for quite some time when we already reached this middle income status. Therefore, we have this problem that we often call middle income trap. So 4.0 is basically a value-based economy that we believe will help us to pull along our nation, to go through into the high-income nation, to go through what we call inclusive society. So we don't want just to have high income, but we want to make sure that we reduce this inequality in the country, as well as we also face with the problem of imbalanced development. So we also want to make sure that our growth, our development in economic area is not going to harm our environment. So that is the strategy and the plan. Let's go a little bit on the institutional reform. Last year we have the new ministry. The Ministry of ICT has changed into Ministry of Digital Economy and Society. We all know that happened sometime in September. But it is not until this year, in January, where we have, I would say, the Digital Economy Act or Digital Development Act, that is in short. So with this act in place in January 24th, what we're going to have is, firstly, we are going to have the National Digital Economy and Society Committee, which is chaired by the Prime Minister and joined by a number of ministers, as well as representatives from private sector and some scholars. This committee is overseeing the digital development of the country and also advising and proposing to the cabinet some issues such as financial policy, investment policy, tax incentive issue. So this is going to happen. We hopefully we are going to have the first meeting in April soon. Secondly, we also have a new mechanism, new tool for the development, that is the Digital Economy Fund. The Digital Economy Fund is the fund which is created for the operation of digital economy related activities. And this fund, the source of this fund come from several sources. For example, there will be government seed money. There is some money allocated from the government budget each year. We also have some fund from the MBTC licensing fees. Lastly, we also, according to this law, we are having a new agency called Digital Economy Promotion Agency. So this is a new agency coming up. We also resolved one of the agency called SIPA, Software Industry Promotion Agency. So this new GIPA is going to be one of a very important agency to put forward and to implement a number of projects that are going to happen this year. So right now I'm going to just show you a few examples of the projects that are happening. Some of them started last year, but you see more this year. The first one is called Pracharat Internet or Village Internet, whatever you might call, but I'm sure that you have heard of it. Last year, the ministry, the government already announced this intention to provide broadband to the nationwide villages, which is about 75,000 villages. Those 75 villages, there are around 40,000 villages that haven't got broadband connectivity. So this year, TOT, which is a state-owned agency under the ministry, is going to roll out 24,700 villages broadband. So I show you this chart because it means that we are going to really work on it, because last year we talked about it, and because of some problem it has a little bit been delayed. But this year, this is the plan that at the end of this year you will see those villages having broadband. It's a hard job for TOT, but I'm sure they can do it. Secondly, after we have this broadband or this road to the villages, the minister also created a new project called Digital Community, where you have, because he see that it's not enough to have just infrastructure there. You need to have activities to actually create further value for the infrastructure that you invested. So this digital community is basically provide all the activities related to the daily life of the people in the community, which most of them are in the rural area, whether it is on the commerce, something with the employment, or the way that people can access their healthcare services and government services through these digital means in the villages itself. The digital park, I heard that you already heard this morning, but basically this is the one that we are talking about, having a tech center, having an innovation center in the country. The place will is located within CAT Telecom land, but this development is also in line with our EEC or Eastern Corridor, the Eastern. So, just that I heard that my time is coming up. The last project that I would like to talk is Smart City. You know that we already have some pilot project last year at Phuket and also Chiang Mai, probably more on Phuket that you have heard of. But that is a pilot project that we look at some activities such as CCTV, traffic modeling, data analytics on traffic issue. But this year we are going to take this further. We want to look at the awareness and the management system of the whole thing on Smart City. We want to create awareness in other provinces as well. And we We will launch smart city in other areas. For example, definitely we are going to work with the EEC community just to so that the EEC development will be like a holistic package. So this is the thing that we have done and we have this year. So you can see that we are going to have a lot of investment, we are going to have a lot of activities, and ministry is not going to do it alone. On the Net Pachalat and digital communities, we have to work with other ministries such as the Home Ministry on this smart city as well, and also we have to work on the digital park. We have to work with the Ministry of Industry and as well as the governors of those provinces where we are going to in those smart cities. I guess my 15 minutes is up, so I hope you enjoy the presentation and the update. Thank you.